Hey, don't, please. Excuse me. Don't.
Now, let me do the talking, Hazel. She asks about your age of 33. She wants to know how much money you have. Just pick up a magazine and ask for a key to the washroom.
What are you knocking for? Didn't you hear me? I told you to come on in.
Not us, you didn't. My name is Gingras, Mrs. Thomas Gingras. This is my sister-in-law, Hazel. We were recommended by Mrs. Kratzer. You remember Mrs. Kratzer?
Do I remember Mrs. Kratzer? How do you think she got to be Mrs. Kratzer? Take a seat in here. I'll be with you in a minute.
But I liked her so much.
All I know is she called me up and... Make yourselves at home, girls. She called me up and she said anybody, but not that big dumb Swede. What happened?
She said I had good bills.
She wants a registration fee back.
I'd done everything you said.
You took her to dinner?
Sure.
Where?
Nedick's.
Nedick's? That's an orange juice stand.
They got sausages there, too.
Well, she said she wanted somebody thrifty. But don't you think maybe you went a little too far?
Afterwards, we had a good time.
Oh? Went to music hall?
We went walking.
You went walking? In that heat? Where?
14th Street to 3rd Avenue, then 23rd Street, then 34th Street. I like to count the blocks.
And then back?
On the way back, I count the blocks in Swedish.
Listen, Mr. Johannesson, you were supposed to be courting the dame. Did you kiss her?
No, ma'am.
Look, I laid it all out for you. On the steps, you take her key, and you open the door. And when you return her key to her, you lean forward and gently, you kiss her. What happened?
I dropped the key.
I give up. For you, Mr. Johannesson, I could never find a bride. Any man that'll... Oh, wait a minute. Let me see now. What was that dame's name? Delia something. She was nuts for walking. I should have filed her under the H in hiking. Here it is. Delia Seacon. Oh, Mr. Johannesson. This gal was made to order for you. 5'6", fond of nature, long hiking trips, bird watching, not much on conversation. Mr. Johannesson, I can hear the wedding bells already. Look, you'll be at my house Sunday afternoon for coffee. Maybe you better wear your sneakers.
Could I see her picture now?
Oh, sure, why not? Well, maybe you better wait. She's had her teeth fixed since then. Okay, Mr. Johannesson, see you at my place on Sunday.
Good morning.
Hey, how about it? Did she take you off the list?
She said she heard wedding bells.
It's really just too silly us being here, isn't it, Hazel? But we happen to be in the neighborhood, and so we thought because Mrs. Kratzer talked so much about you. And it's all such a howl anyway.
Sit down, girls. Hazel, what was that other name?
Gingras, Gingras.
She's my husband's sister. Because we just love Hazel. And it's a real pleasure to have her live with us. You see, until last year, she took care of Tom's papa. The best daughter that ever was. Never took a day off. Never looked at a man.
It's quite a record.
You see, she's always kind of shy with the opposite sex. She blushes. She looks away. She just won't encourage them.
Age?
33.
Last September.
How old will she be next September?
Why, what do you mean? 34, of course.
Look, ladies, if I'm going to be your agent, nobody's going to see what I write on this form, so what do I put down?
I never heard anything so awful in my life. Let's go, Hazel. I don't know why we came here in the first place. All right, tell her.
40.
That's what I put down. You don't have to mumble about it. What's wrong with 40? A king gave up his throne for a woman that was no ingenue. Oh, I don't say I can get you a king, but there's plenty of fine men that'd be very proud to have you for a wife. How much money has she got? Second door to the left.
$4,000, her father's insurance.
You see, when a gal gets to be that age, the fellas like to know how much money she's got in the bank. Those her pictures?
They were taken last Christmas.
Wish you could make it 5,000.
Done and done.
Did Mrs. Kratzman say anything to you about the
the registration fee.
Yeah. And then when I get a prospect figured out, why, we'll figure on my commission.
I know you have a lot of clients, but would you try real hard with Hazel? Get her out from under our feet.
I thought she was such a pleasure to have around the house.
I'm thinking of her, too. She's so lonely, even though she ought to be used to it by now.
Don't kid yourself. You can get used to being poor. Guess even blind. You never get used to being lonely. Tell you what, you get Hazel gussied up for a Sunday date.
She said there was never a man in my life. Well, there was, and he was a very nice boy. And we were all set to be married. Only at the last minute, his mother had a heart attack. But he wanted to marry me. He did. He did.
Take it easy, kid.
Oh, Doberman, come on in.
Hey, you busy, huh, May? I only came in to renew your red. I'll come back later.
No, wait in here. I gotta talk to you. Look, I'll tell you what you do. You take that home and finish it up at home. Tell me everything. Just pour your heart out.
Well, if he could be tall.
That's right. And then you mail it in. Be at my house Sunday afternoon. And don't wear that hat.
Want to run the ad through, June?
Yeah.
So, how's business?
Yeah.
Same old shortage, huh?
Doberman, you know all I need to retire? A regiment of single men. With a good sense of humor.
We've had few complaints about this new type nose bridge. It's reinforced plastic.
Hi, Mr. Wixton.
Oh, hello.
No hurry about me. I got plenty of time.
Try them now. Anybody who wears glasses as well as you seems a shame you don't wear them all the time.
That's a nice thing to wish on me.
It's the highest compliment a man in my profession can pay a lady.
How much do I owe you?
Not a thing. It was a pleasure. Anytime they give you any trouble, just drop in.
I will, thanks.
Mr. Wickstead, I've been having another one of them headaches. Must be my eyes, huh?
Get off it, Mrs. Swayze. You don't have a headache. You got another listing. What is it this time?
All I can tell you is this is the girl for you. Nice build, quiet, modest, young. Only 33 last September. Of course, she's a little on the shy side, but oh, she's chock full of personality. And Mr. Wickstead, $5 grand in the bank.
Mrs. Swayze, I'm sorry I ever signed up with you. I've changed my mind. I'd rather have my freedom. I don't want to get married.
No man wants to get married. I've been studying you, George Wickstead. You're no kid anymore. One of these days, you're going to need somebody to comfort you.
I'm doing all right.
Oh, sure. You still got a few kicks left, maybe a couple of big innings. Then after that, you'll sit up in the park and watch the wind blow the girls' dresses. And all of a sudden, someday, you'll stop caring even about that.
I hope I'm dead.
Meanwhile, you need a wife. Look at you, double chin, fat from eating bad food. You ought to be grateful I dug this gal up for you.
Dug her up?
Oh, don't you worry. She's not dead, not this one. A real live wire. Low voltage, but steady. Well, well.
And I want you to invite all of your friends because everything's going to be gorgeous.
What do you know? Mr. Hornbeck kissing Ina Kushner with Mama looking on.
Another couple you brought together?
Who says I did?
I know you. They must be clients.
You keep your mouth shut. That boy doesn't know a thing about it. Be at my house Sunday afternoon. And get a haircut first.
And I know the shortest way, and don't take me by the Panama Canal.
Mrs. Kushner!
Don't look around at that Swayze woman.
But she did introduce us.
This is a love match. She won't get 1 cent out of us. Hurry up.
Mrs. Kushner! Mrs. Kushner!
What's my next appointment?
Hey, honey, Mr. Hornbeck around. I think I'm going to need another treatment on this old soup bone of mine.
He's busy with X-ray.
Well, look, honey, he knows me. Hi, Mr. Hornbeck.
Well, hi, Mrs. Swayze.
I got it again. This shoulder is so bad I can't even lift a piece of Kleenex.
Oh, we'll fix that up. Miss Eddie, can you squeeze in an appointment for Mrs. Swayze?
Well, I'll see.
Well, aren't you going to say anything?
Like what?
Don't tell me you haven't heard. Oh, well, just a second. You know, you made a big change in my life.
What are you talking about? Ina Kushner?
It's going to be Ina Hornbeck. All set, Friday, 11 o'clock.
Imagine that.
Yeah. You know, if you'd have come here 10 minutes ago, you'd have bumped into her.
I had no idea.
We can take Mrs. Swayze now. And that fellow out there wants to know about his kidneys.
Hey, listen, I don't understand. Didn't the Kushner send you an invitation?
Me? Why me?
Well, I met Ina at your house. They're friends of yours, aren't they?
In my house? When?
Well, a month or so ago. A Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that was the day I called you over when you burned my shoulder with your treatment.
Imagination. It wasn't even red.
Yeah, and sweet little Ina Kushner came in and brought me some flowers.
Yeah.
You know, for a minute that skipped my mind. I bet you left with Ina, huh?
Sure. She had me over to their house the next night. Hey, Friday, 11 a.m. And I want to see you right in the first row.
Right in here, Mrs. Swayze.
Mr. and Mrs. Howard Davis Kushner request the president to Tudor room of the Hotel Lorraine. Traveling first class, huh?
Oh, it's high-powered. I got big plans for me. I guess I'm pretty lucky. You know, Mr. Kushner wants to set me up.
In your own lab?
Madison Avenue, corner of 49th Street, right in the middle of the hypochondriac belt. You know, you'd never believe it, but the old guy was looking around for something to put his money into.
You know, every once in a while, destiny fixes it real nice for young people, don't it?
Yeah. Well, look, now, don't forget Friday. Oh, I'll tell the Kushners you're coming, huh?
No, don't bother. I'll be calling them myself.
Okay.
Aren't you ready yet, Mrs. Swayze? We'll have to hurry.
You know, kid, I think I'm going to skip it today. I feel better already. Hey, this ain't mine. Oh, great. Kitty, my darling, I know I am a heel. I wish I had told you about Louise right at the beginning, but I was afraid to because I was too much in love with you. I know it isn't your style going around with a married man, but we need each other. Oh, brother. We can work it out, darling. I must see you. Please, I must. Doug.
Are you supposed to meet Mrs. Swayze here?
Yes, isn't she in?
No. I picked up her purse by mistake, and she probably has mine.
Well, she'll be back soon.
What do you mean back soon? Here I am.
You can guess who I am. That's my purse. I left yours with the girl. What, you didn't notice? You didn't open it?
Knock me down. Am I a dope?
Hey, break it up, Swayze. I've got to get these notarized.
Okay.
Oh, could I use your phone?
Sure thing. Right in there.
Thanks.
Sign that.
I already have.
Extension 541. Hello, is Doris there? Oh, yes, I'll wait.
Put her on a tab, will you, honey?
Say, listen,
Hi,
Swayze.
baby.
Swayze, the minute you were gone, a real hot prospect showed up.
Later.
Mr. Perry popped in with his 3 daughters, and they're not bad. You know, corn-fed but cute, and he's got 2 more at home.
Yeah, later.
Don't give me later. This bird says he's the cider king of Richmond County.
Hello, this is Kitty Bennett. You're not showing yet. Oh, well, let me talk to Doris. Hiya, Doris. Listen, anybody screaming for me? Oh, well, that's all right. Which one? The Trapunto one. Well, listen, kid, you'll need my half slip. It's in the bin in the corner. Thanks, baby. Thanks a million. I'll hurry. Thanks, Mrs. Swayze.
Who's Trapunta?
Oh, it's a kind of embroidery. I'm a model at Russick's, the French shop.
No fooling. You know, I've never been in a store where they had models.
Well, you should come on down. You know, we've got some very good buyers in your size.
Yeah, wouldn't I look cute floating around in one of them Zapunta numbers?
And why not?
Oh, I'm a businesswoman.
I wanted to ask, what does this mean?
Notary public?
No, contacts and contracts.
Oh, well, I'm the personal representative of a lot of people, you know. Manage their affairs, give them advice.
I
You
see.
know.
Well, goodbye and thanks. I hope I've got the right one now.
Wait a minute. That's an awful cute dress. Listen, kid. I've been around. Let him go.
I beg your pardon?
I know all about those characters that go around telling a girl, you know what I am, I'm a heel. You know what they are? Heels.
So you did read my letter?
Yeah, I never could resist one of them things. Do you like that, too?
No, I don't read other people's letters.
I was just looking for your address.
Did it read like a street number? After the first few words, you must have known.
Okay, it was none of my business. If I saw you walking in front of a truck, that wouldn't be any of my business either, but I'd let him go. You use my telephone. Use my waste paper basket. Tear that letter up.
You don't think I'm capable of making my own decisions?
I know what I'm talking about. I'm a lot older than you are.
Funny, when people want to alibi their bad manners, I notice they always bring up their age. Excuse me, I'm late for work.
Well, excuse the both of us. Well, this must be Mr. Perry.
How do you do?
Hi. 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 Well, so these are some of your beautiful daughters, huh? Sit down.
Sit down.
Well, as the good book says, blessed is the man with a full quiver.
You shouldn't have let her in. I'll take care of this.
Hi, Mrs. Kushner. Looks good.
What are you doing here?
I tried every other way to get in touch with you.
I've been very busy.
Well, this won't take long at all.
See me afterwards.
No, thank you. I've been burned before. The deal was $500. I love that tune.
Get out of here.
Just as soon as you pony up, Mrs. Kushner.
Well, you don't think I carry that much money around with me, do you?
Of course not. Don't be silly. Got it right here. All made out. All you have to do is sign your name.
You got no legal claim whatever. I asked my brother. He's a lawyer.
And he told you to chisel me out of my commission?
You please get out of here. You're going to cause a scene.
I'm just warming up. You know, there's a spot in the thing when the man says, anybody here know any reason why this woman shouldn't be united to this fella?
Mama! Oh, Mama!
You better get these people out of here and her too.
Mama, he walked out on me.
But he was here. I saw him.
Well, he left. He just turned around and left. Oh, I could kill him. I could just kill him. And this is the man you picked out for me.
I picked out.
Hey, hold it.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Swayze.
I want to talk to you.
What are you doing down here?
I went by your office, and that nurse of yours said I should drag the local bars for you. This I could have understood if you'd gotten loaded. Doing a thing like that, standing her up, a sweet young girl.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really am. I couldn't go through with it.
Listen, stop all this nonsense and listen to me. Grab your coat.
Hey, you got a natural look. Why don't you try a light of ball?
Listen, get into this. We can still patch things up. They won't hold it against you. You were nervous.
I've never been calmer. I just don't want to marry her.
Well, why the sudden switch? Last week you were all smiles. You were just drooling about this beautiful, wonderful...
Yeah, I never said that about Ina.
Oh, who's talking about her? I'm talking about that X-ray equipment. That big, beautiful, shiny new office.
Yeah, well, I thought it over. I'd rather marry a woman.
Well, you should have thought of that before you proposed to her.
Did I propose? I can't figure when. All of a sudden, I don't know, I was just engaged.
Well, that's natural. Happens 99 times out of 100. Now, look, I came down here to drag you back. Grab your coat.
Look, Mrs. Swayze, believe me, if I could have gone through with the thing, I would have. I knew it the minute I hit that hotel. One room there was Ina. She was yapping at everybody about her bouquet. And then the old man, he was telling every head waiter in the place what a big setup he was going to give me. And then I caught a glimpse of the old mama with those fangs sticking out, and I just knew that in 20 years, Ina would look exactly like her. Oh.
Well, she could look a lot worse.
Oh.
Mrs. Kushner is a fine, handsome, sweet woman. And I, for one, am proud to know her. What are you grinning about?
Oh, nothing. It's mighty nice of you to speak like that, though, considering.
Considering what?
Oh, nothing. The only time I ever mentioned your name to her, she... Hey, give me a couple of Cokes, will you?
What'd she say?
Oh, nothing.
Come on, give.
Well, she called you a henna-head.
Well, how do you like that? Henna-head from that old bag. Well, that's gratitude for you. First, she hands me that spook to marry off, and then she walks out on my fee.
Fee?
It was supposed to be cash and carry. Only you wouldn't carry.
I don't get it.
Oh, what's so tough to get? You didn't think there was something really wrong with my shoulder that day I called you. You didn't think Ina Kushner just happened to drop in.
Well, yeah, for now.
It was a plan. I phoned her, I phoned you.
But why? I don't understand why.
It's my business. I'm a marriage broker.
Holy smoke. You mean you run one of those clubs? Don't you warn people?
Usually, but once in a while you have to play it kind of sneaky.
Well, how do you like that? Won't you, step into my parlor, said the spider to the fly, huh? I knew it! I always had a feeling there was something phony there. Now I'm off the hook, huh? I'm completely off the hook.
You know something else? I'm glad. I'm out $500 and I'm glad. Can't you see them Kushners sitting around the wedding cake? Great big reception, only nobody's there. All that food. Old Satchel Hips will be eating chicken a la king for the next 6 weeks.
Oh, Mrs. Swayze, I'm telling you, I ought to brain you. But I'm just gonna hug you instead. Come here.
No hard feelings? We're friends?
Shipmates. Mrs. Swayze, I love you. Well, brother, that was my farewell performance. Yes, sir, no more weddings for me.
Oh, one of these days you'll meet some beautiful babe.
Sure, lots of them. But just for kicks, not for marriage. Besides, I haven't got the money to get married. Yes, that little match is gonna play the field and have some fun.
That's the spirit, kid. Stay loose. Well, I gotta run along. Say, listen, why don't you stop in my place sometime? We can, talk, play some cards. How about next Sunday?
Got a deal.
Okay. I'm always home Sunday afternoon. Well, goodbye. I'll be seeing you.
Sunday afternoon.
Now, try and get this straight, Mr. Perry. His name is Matt Hornbeck. Got it? And when he comes, don't let on you got even one daughter. You're just an old friend of the family's. You understand?
But I can tell him I've got 8 of the finest farms in Richmond County turning out the finest cider.
About the cider, you can tell him anything. Just clam up about the girls. We don't want him to know what we're up to.
I got an idea. One day, you take him for a little ride out by my place. We spread nails on the road. Bang, flat tire, and he has to come in.
Oh, Mr. Perry.
It was just a suggestion.
Okay, Doberman.
So what about the game?
Later. Time for coffee and homemade cupcakes. Sit down, Mr. Perry. Maybe you better look through this. Meet him on his own ground. Hazel plays real beautiful, don't she?
Yeah.
Turn that thing off. Turn around, honey. Look, coffee and cakes. I'll tell you what, you and Mr. Wickstead are going to have a little picnic right here. Sit down. There, that looks real cozy. Come and get it, everybody.
Come on, boys, come and get it.
Oh, finally. Well, what kept you?
Have you ever walked from Sheep's Head Bay across the Brooklyn Bridge up to here in the rain?
Who, me? Am I crazy? Oh, you walked. Well, did you hear that, folks? This is my good friend Delia Seaton. Walked all the way from Sheep's Head Bay. Delia, I want you to meet my friend Hijalma Johannesson.
What an interesting name. Swedish?
Yeah.
Hermione.
You speak Swedish?
Det gläder mig att göra bekantskap.
She speaks Swedish.
Well, that's enough Swedish out of both of you. Now, you sit down. I want you to get to know each other real well.
Say, I figured out another way for my girl to meet this fellow by accident. When Rosie was a baby, she was playing with an earring of her mama's, and she swallowed it. We had to have x-rays taken.
You wanted to swallow another earring?
It was just a suggestion.
Well, Mrs. Swayze, thanks for the coffee. I gotta be running.
Oh, no. Don't be silly. The real fun is just beginning. Now comes the game. Hey, Doberman. And look, all you boys line up here. Now, first I tie this around your left wrist. Then I tie this one around your right wrist. Now, what girl are we going to pair you off with? Celia Seaton, come here. No, you wouldn't do for Mr. Wixton. Oh, Hazel. Hazel, you'd be just right.
I've never played.
Oh, what pretty little wrists you've got.
Oh,
Yes, you have. Now,
nice of you to say that.
Now, the object of the game is to see how soon you can get away from each other without untying the string. Now, who's next?
I played this game here before.
Yeah, then you took it to Neddick's. Now, who do we get for you?
Delia?
I'm no good at games.
Oh, now, don't you be afraid. There you go. Now, get going. Ready? Action. Come on. Now, no cheating, Mr. Wixted. That's it, Hazel. That's it. Oh.
My finger. Got my finger.
I put my foot through here. And then you put your arm. That's it.
Now, you see, when we get Dr. Hornbeck with your girls, we'll start a little game like this.
In the meantime, couldn't I play it with the blonde lady?
Well, Mr. Perry, she's a married woman.
It was just a suggestion.
Oh, Mrs. Gingras, come on, get in the fun. Oh, Doberman, here, you tie up this pair for me.
Play too.
Yeah.
Oh,
You ever played this?
Right now.
Yeah. Would be good. Liv.
Hello, Mrs. Swayze. Can I see you for a moment?
You sure you mean me? Look awful cute in that thing.
Oh, it's my gangster car.
Come on in.
Oh, I didn't realize. You've got people in there, haven't you?
About 50-50.
I better come back another time. I wanted to talk to you.
No, come on in my room. They'll keep.
Now with
I can't get my arm.
You got it? No.
That's my hat. Wait. You look at my hat. No,
Wait, why?
Mary, get my hat.
your hat.
Oh, my God.
I'm not
How did we ever...
You know how it is on a Sunday when you're kicking around an apartment by yourself. Well, I began to stew this morning about that thing the other day. I felt terrible, so I came to apologize. Come on, you get one free punch.
Not now, but I could have hung one on you then. Something else?
Well, yes, I have some rather good news.
Here he goes.
I thought you might be interested.
Did you get rid of that bird?
No. And it just shows how wrong you can be, Mrs. Swayze. You thought he was giving me the runaround? Well, he's asked me to marry him.
Oh? Well, won't that kind of crowd up the old homestead?
Oh, they're going to get a divorce.
Oh? Oh, well, that's more like it.
Yeah, I thought you'd be rather pleased.
So the wife stepped out of the picture. Well, congratulations. How'd you work it?
Well, I didn't work anything. They haven't been getting on for years. She's quarrelsome. She's moody.
You certainly got the dope on her in a hurry. A few days ago, you didn't even know there was a her.
I still don't know too much. That's why he's taking me to dinner tonight. We'll go someplace where nobody knows us. Says he has a lot of things to tell me.
Tonight, huh?
I told him to pick me up here.
Swell. But the good thing is you didn't move in on the wife. She broke it up herself.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. You just happened to be around, and that's mighty lucky. Because this way you haven't got another woman's unhappiness on your conscience. Who is it?
Mrs. Swayze, we won.
Oh, fine. Just fine. Now, why don't you invite him home for supper?
Oh, don't sit around one day.
What happened to you? You won, didn't you?
We did mathematically.
Yeah, you're a very scientific child. Listen, folks. Pajamas. Look, folks, now, it's getting kind of late, and you've all had your fun.
Oh, no.
No. Yeah, that's right. Well, as Emily Post always says, when you want to get rid of your guests, tell them to go home.
I guess it must be awful for a woman at first.
What?
When a man walks out on his wife.
Oh, that. No. First, she's glad to get rid of him. It ain't until afterwards that she realizes he took more than his shirts and his socks out the door. He took her pride out with him. Oh, some silly thing happened. In an old bureau drawer, she comes across a birthday present he gave her. She remembers he bought it for her on the installment plan, and they laughed about it then, and he said, well, what difference does it make? I'll still be in love with you long after it's paid for. Only he wasn't. He stopped loving her just 2 payments short of an Elgin wristwatch. And right then, her pride is gone for good.
Maybe so. Well, a person can't go on worrying about other people's problems.
No, that's right. Only just don't get yourself in a spot so when you have your first fight, he can say, you're the dame that broke up my home. That's what most of them do. What time is that fella coming to pick you up?
Somewhere around 6.
Well, it's almost that now. Listen, why don't you go in there and jack up your face? I'm going out and straighten up the living room.
Mrs. Swayze, I think I'd better get a move on. He'll be... Where have you been?
Outside. I sent him away.
Mrs. Swayze!
I told him you left 10 minutes ago.
Mrs. Swayze, excuse me for asking, but why?
I'll tell you why, because you're not tough enough to do it yourself.
That's not true.
Listen, you didn't come over here to say I'm sorry to an old bag like me. You wanted a backbone. That's why you came.
Suppose I am a little afraid of myself. Is that a crime?
It is if you don't take a stand. Oh, smarten up, honey. You get a man this way, you got a 10% chance of happiness, and those odds aren't good enough for a girl like you.
Sending him away is no solution. When I get home, he'll be waiting outside in his car.
Well, then don't go home. Stay here tonight. That's a $90 couch.
What about tomorrow? I'm not going to keep hiding from him.
Tomorrow'll take care of itself. Everything looks different in the sunshine. Only don't try talking things over with him on a rainy Sunday night in a little restaurant where somebody's playing the violin.
Gone out to dinner with him lots of
Yeah,
times.
but skip tonight. You know, you can never stop drinking till you push away that first glass. How about it, honey?
I'll try.
Holy smoke, honey. That thing never looked like that on me.
You know something, Mrs. Swayze? I might forget to give it back.
Go on. Stick to the ones you can see through. Hop in. Here, I'll do this.
Oh, that food of yours. I ate like a truck driver.
Now it's time to sleep like one.
Yeah, I wish I could.
What's to stop you?
You know, Mrs. Swayze, I think men are sort of falling off. You meet a guy nowadays, either he's a jerk or tries to make a pass.
Well, what's wrong with a pass now and then? It's good for your morale.
Yeah, up to a point. Of course, there was a girl in our building who had so much morale, they asked her to move, but it's not what I mean. I mean, it's hard to find a man that you can like. But it's the same with all the girls. I tell you, men are just falling off.
Mm-hmm. Well, you get some shut-eye. Maybe they'll improve by morning.
You know, a crazy thing. I think maybe I was spoiled by Jamie Egan.
Who's he?
Boy, back home in Fort Wayne. He was just perfect. Everybody said so.
Did you go with him long?
He asked me to marry him. And you know where he wanted to live? In Sherwood Forest.
Where's that, Jersey?
No, in England. You know, where Robin Hood was. Oh, you should have known, Jamie. He was awful smart and fun. You know, he'd walk through the fields and he knew the name of every flower. And at night was the same thing with the different stars.
Well, if he was so hot, why didn't you marry him?
We were 10 years old. His family had to move to Troy that summer. They worked for Westinghouse.
Oh, holy smoke, honey. You can't go around comparing a grown man to some kid you knew in Indiana.
Why not?
Well, because you just can't. When a fella gets to be 25, he don't feel like Robin Hood.
Oh, I don't mean that. I mean, why do they have to change? Why can't they just grow up the way they were?
Well, don't ask me. You're the one that knows all about men.
Well, I still believe in love.
There, I think you got some. Good night now.
Morning, Mrs. Swayze.
Good morning, honey. And this is the goofiest thing that ever happened to me in my life. I've been through this apartment with a fine-tooth comb. Hold it. Wait a minute. Here it is. Oh, a lump of sugar.
You lost something?
Yeah, my earring. I missed it last night, but I thought it'd show up this morning. I remember it was loose when I started to make that omelet.
Oh, I bet it's in the sink.
Oh, we didn't even touch the dishes.
Was it so valuable?
No. No, that's not it. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe when I made up your bed.
Did you look behind the cushion?
Every one of them. I've been looking since 6 o'clock this morning. I'll give you a rough idea how good you slept.
You know what I was dreaming about? That omelet of yours.
I must have eaten most of it.
Most of it? You ate all of it. I only had a glass of buttermilk. I was hoping you'd leave me one little crumb. No, you...
What's the matter? Why are you staring?
Oh, it's nothing. Well, we looked here, and we looked there. Now I'm sure. I dropped it just as I started to beat the eggs. Oh, they ought to give me the chair.
Why?
Baby, you feel all right?
Perfect, I guess.
Well, look, does it hurt when I press like this?
No.
Or like this?
Not a bit.
Oh, no, I mustn't do that. That'll only make it worse. Look, we've got to get you to a doctor.
Oh, you don't.
No, you need to be x-rayed. We haven't got a minute to lose. Wait till I see if I can find an x-ray lab here in the neighborhood.
Ridiculous.
Wait a minute.
Look at me swallow an earring. I feel it when it went down.
Ready, Miss Bennett?
I don't know why I'm here. This is a waste of time.
Mr. Hornbeck.
Good morning. Morning. Well, what over here?
Young lady thinks she swallowed an earring last night.
I don't think so. My friend thinks so.
She has no symptoms, no pain, no fever.
How about breakfast? Did you have any?
No. And please hurry. I'm hungry.
All right. Just take a deep breath. Hold it. Now, breathe out and hold it. Mm-hmm. Now, just breathe naturally and turn.
About face or just halfway?
What kind of an earring was it?
A little coral thing.
Look at you swallowed it.
In an omelet.
Anyhow, once more, will you please? Hold it.
Not that I'm worried, but is it possible? Do you see anything?
Yeah, not yet. What doctor sent you?
Well, we didn't go to a doctor. My friend didn't think we should waste a single second, but come right here.
You know we don't take cases where the patient hasn't been to a doctor first.
Well, I thought since it seems so urgent and her friend is a friend of yours...
Who's that?
Mrs. Swayze.
Oh, Mrs. Swayze. Well, I think we can turn on the light now. Hello, Mrs. Swayze. As far as I'm concerned, Miss Bennett, I can assure you with absolute certainty you have nothing to worry about. I don't know where that earring is, but beyond a shadow of a doubt, it is not in you.
There. Feel better now?
Not a bit. Let's go see a real doctor.
Oh, come on now, Mrs. Swayze.
No. I think she should call one right away. Want to use my phone, Mrs. Swayze?
I certainly do.
Right this way. You can get dressed now, Miss Bennett.
Dr. Abner, Dr. Atchulus, Dr. Ackroyd.
Oh, they're all good doctors, but how can you tell which of them is unmarried?
Meaning which?
Oh, knock it off. I didn't come to the coffee clutch, so the coffee clutch comes to me.
Coffee clutch? What are you talking about?
Keep it down to a dull raw, Mrs. Swayze. Hey, what's the angle on this one? Gee, with a kisser like that, she shouldn't need your help to get married.
Oh, I can't believe it. Did you really... Listen, that girl doesn't even know what business I'm in. I've lost 10 years of my life during the last hour worrying about... But you're not the most conceited punk I have ever known. Who do you think you are, Mr. Hornbeck? Not even a doctor. $80 a week at the outside.
75.
Yeah, and the prettiest, sweetest girl between here and Times Square is out to catch you.
Well, listen, Crumb Bun. Miss Kitty Bennett happens to be a model in Russick's department store, in the French salon.
And every Tuesday and Friday, they have a fashion show. And while she's floating around in them negligees, who do you think is watching her? Marlene Dietrich? Paulette Goddard? Jean Tierney? No. Just every unmarried man in New York with sense enough to choke a dog at the end of a stick. They got their Cadillacs parked out front. They don't give out 25-cent tips. They throw the doorman a $5 bill and tell him keep the change. But she's after bigger game. Yeah, sure. What she wants is an x-ray man that can't find a little schnook of an earring she swallowed.
If I didn't know you better, I'd say you were on the level.
This girl honors me with her friendship, and you think I'm thinking about business.
All right. Don't blow a fuse, will you? I believe you.
Mrs. Swayze, you were right. You were absolutely right. The earring, it was me all the time. Caught in my sweater.
Did you hear that, Mr. Hornbeck? Right in her sweater. Here you are, honey. You keep it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and take the other one, too. Maybe they'll bring you luck.
Oh, please, no,
Come on now. Hold out your ear. Oh, I'm nervous. You do it.
All right, Mike. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Let's go.
Oh, wait, I've got to pay.
Pay? Pay who? For what? Who found the earring? You or him?
Where do I pay, Mr. Hornbeck?
No, Mrs. Swayze is right. You don't owe me a thing. But I'll make you a deal. You haven't had any breakfast. I'll take you and we'll call it square.
Miss Bennett and I are having breakfast together without an escort. We wouldn't think of keeping you from your important work. $75 a week.
Some gallstones waiting in room 5.
All right, Mama, do what you like. I'm tired of making out the menu and coming home and finding something different. Anything. Oh, not tuna flakes again.
All right. Put that thing down. I got some letters for you.
I'll talk to you later, Mama.
Schubert Piano Company.
Say, is it you owes me that week's back salary, or is it him?
This address. My dear sir, I am very sorry about this month's payment on the piano. I will try to get it up as soon as possible. I hope this will be satisfactory for you because the piano is very important to my business. Incidentally, an acquaintance of mine up at the house says the tone of it is strictly from hunger. But no offense. Very sincerely yours.
Got it. Go on.
Did you see that woman?
What woman?
See if she goes in my office. Tell her I'm not there. Tell her I won't be back today.
I don't get it.
Tell her anything. Just get rid of her.
Are you looking for Mrs. Swayze?
Yes.
Well, she's not there.
Oh, thank you. You don't happen to know when she's coming back?
Couldn't say. Want to leave a message?
No. Oh, maybe you could say, just tell her I called. My name is Swayze, Mrs. Swayze. Thank you.
Thanks. We'll do the other letters later.
Hey, wait a minute. What's it all about?
I just didn't want to see her.
She says her name is Mrs. Swayze.
Well, it is.
A relative of yours? She must have been awful pretty.
She was, and that's enough about that.
Well, don't get so touchy. It's nothing to me.
Pardon me?
Hi.
Hello. Could you tell us first, what do these people like?
Who?
The women. We don't want some dog. I'll take care of it. We want to sign up.
Oh.
About the registration fee, would $6.50 be enough until we get the rest? Tell her right off. No goons. Pa won't bite.
Pa?
Yes, it's for him. We saw your ad in the paper. You know, lonely? Well, that's what's the matter with Pop.
With 2 kids like you?
He needs somebody grown up. The last 3 years, he never goes out the way man inside should. He comes home, eats with us, sits around with us. It's awfully tiresome.
Well, why didn't your pa come himself?
Oh, he doesn't know anything about this,
Oh.
and he mustn't. If he does, we'll get it right in the tailbone.
Oh, well, look, kids, come on in here. Sit down. Oh, put your money away. Sit down. Hello? Oh.
Say, Mrs. Swayze, I wondered if our date for tonight was definite. Oh, no. I just wondered. Joanne, would you get my zipper? Well, somebody's asked me out for dinner.
Oh. Here we go again. Dinner with him. Kitty, my darling, I know I'm a heel. Listen, we've been through this before. You'll eat with me tonight and like it.
Oh, no. No, you're wrong. It's not him. Remember that young fella in the X-ray lab? Well, he turned up at today's showing. I was wearing Southern Exposure. That's beach pajamas. And there he was.
Oh, that fella. Well, what do you know? He must have traced you someplace. Oh, well, sure, go ahead. Don't mean anything to me. Well, I'm not worrying. You can run faster than him. Yeah, well, look. Look, I gotta hang up. I'm awful busy. Yeah. Goodbye. I'll be with you in a second, kids. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. Move over. Well, this ought to be a cinch.
You're lucky today. Me, I've got another date with the Saturday Evening Post. Been waiting long?
Yeah. Say, you know, you keep working on it, you'll be a pretty girl.
Oh, I didn't think you looked at the outside of me.
Well, very seldom, unless it's a good example of tibia extremis.
Tibia extremis?
Leg bones. You got a perfect set.
Plenty of vegetables.
Well, where we go?
It's up to you. Somewhere in the village?
I'll make you a deal. You pick the place tonight, I'll pick it tomorrow night. This month will alternate.
This month?
Oh, yes, just this month. No long-term planning.
Step to the rear of the bus.
Where you from?
Now, suppose I say Fort Wayne. You ask me about my family. To be polite, I'll have to ask about yours. There goes the whole evening.
Fair enough. We're orphans.
I beg your pardon. But I remember to punch that clock when I came out.
I wouldn't know.
What did you do that for?
Impulse. Didn't you ever suddenly want some orange sherbet or a bowl of chili?
What's a bowl of chili got to do with it? We barely know each other.
Look, this is the 10th of May. Would you be mad if I kissed you on the 10th of June?
Guess not.
Why waste a month? We're not going to live forever.
It's a silly reason.
Well, what's silly about it? This way we'll clear up into the middle of June.
Oh, please, let's say July until after dinner. You know, I'm just as glad they closed that place when they did. Another 5 minutes and we'd have been arrested the way you dance.
Well, I like it neighborly, you know, nice and close so you don't lose your partner.
Oh.
What's the matter? Don't you like music?
Well, I live here.
Oh.
Cheery, isn't it? I call it Wuthering Depths.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, good night.
Yeah, sure.
I had a lovely time.
So did I. Call you tomorrow.
Uh-huh. Good night.
Good night. Oh, you know, you're really something. If I had you, I'd keep you locked up in a closet all the time.
And that way we'd never get to see each other.
Oh, yes, we would. Because I'd be right in there with you.
Good night.
Good night. Well, we go inside, huh?
Oh, it's late. I have to get up early.
Oh, it's not too late.
Come on, Matt. It's time to go. We can't stand out here like this all night kissing.
Now, look, honey, let's not knock it.
Oh, please, Matt. Good night.
Good night. Now, why don't we go inside and just play a couple of records, huh?
No. Now, come on, get going. I had a wonderful time.
I'm thirsty.
What?
Haven't you got a Coke in there?
Well, if you want a Coke, go down and get one at the drugstore.
Oh, they're all closed. Come on, what do you say?
Well, I don't even know whether I have them. What's that?
Little flowers.
Oh. Well, just put them on the table.
Hey, there's no card on it.
I'm afraid it's not very cold.
Maybe it's inside.
What?
With a card.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Here.
You better put them in water.
I will later.
You ought to do it now. Hey, wither in the heat. Hey, there's no card inside either.
I wonder who they're from.
Well, you must know. If you didn't, there'd be a card.
I don't.
Well, that's goofy. Nobody sends a girl flowers unless he absolutely knows she knows who they're from.
Drink your Coke. It's after 2.
A box of roses and no card. I'm not thirsty. Good night.
Matt,
Yeah?
best time to reach me is between 12 and 1:30. They don't put the calls through otherwise.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, look, Mr. Perry, if your daughter has waited 24 years to get married, another week ain't gonna make any difference. Well, forget about that doctor. I can't deliver him. But besides, he's not a real doctor anyway. Sure, I'm looking around. Well, stay loose, Mr. Perry. We're gonna line you up something real high class. That's right. So long. Well, have a cherry. What can I do for you?
Would you be interested to know who I've been out with?
Just fascinated.
That friend of yours, Kit Bennett.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That gal's out of bounds for you.
Look, I want some information about her. Who's this guy?
What guy?
Come on now, you know her pretty well. Some guy keeps sending her flowers. Big boxes of roses.
Well, what do you know? It's beginning to work.
Don't duck on this now. What's beginning to work?
Well, you wouldn't know him, but oh, he's perfect for her. Good-looking fella, beautiful house, security, belongs to all the right clubs and is dying to marry the right girl.
And you gave me your word Kit Bennett was a friend of yours. Nothing more.
Well, she is, but naturally I had a client in mind.
Why, you've got your nerve. That girl makes everything else in this town look like 30 cents. You can't do this.
Do what?
Well, fix her up with some guy. Let her pick her own guy.
Well, where's the commission in that?
Oh. Well, at least give her a break. Tell her she's a sitting duck. Tell her what business you're in.
You're so hepped up on her, why don't you tell her?
Well, we just don't sit around talking about you, Mrs. Swayze.
I'll tell you the real reason. That's the subject that you try to keep away from.
What subject?
The subject that I have in mind and that you're trying to dodge. Marriage. But you want to stay free. Little Matt wants to pick up some fun, play the field.
Ah, what's that got to do with it?
It's got everything to do with it.
You. Haven't you got any cigarettes around here?
You smoke too much. Have it, Sherry.
No. Stay on the subject.
All right. Do you want to marry her?
Who said anything about that?
Not you.
Ah, who am I to get married? You said so yourself, $75 a week.
Well, I know a couple of people who manage on that. $3 million in this town alone.
I can't get tangled up right now. I got my career to worry about. I got to get ahead. Can't you see I'm in no position to get married?
Horse feathers. Anybody with 4 pints of blood that can stand on their 2 feet long enough to say I do is in a position to get married.
Listen, I like her. I'm not saying we won't get around to it. Someday.
Well, I'll make a note of that someday, and if she's available, I'll give you a blast.
You know, you're lucky you're a woman, all right? Hang one right on you.
Isn't he a wonderful guy? Just like Robin Hood.
So what's he mad about?
I was asking him his intention.
Oh. Cut.
You know that cute girl from Rustic?
Oh, her, huh? And that halfback?
Mm-hmm. It's in the bag. Well, almost. Step 1, okay. Step 2, okay. Now, all we got to do is get him to say the hard words.
Mm-hmm. And which one of them pays the commission?
No commission.
Man, I don't get it. Here you are up to your neck in debt. You can't even afford airmail, and you're throwing money away.
All right, so it's Swayze's folly. Look, Doberman, I spend so much time with tired people, trying to fix them up, trying to fan the embers. Give me a prairie fire for a change.
Play.
But it was all planned, you rat. Listen, the Empress of Bermuda, a perfect vacation, a glorious 9-day cruise.
I'm in the middle of a glorious cruise right now.
Oh, I quit. The big meathead takes you out a couple of times and you're 4 feet off the ground. Well, at least this guy makes you smile. I hated that last one.
I don't. Not anymore. Now that it's over, I don't mind him a bit.
B, guess who's here? You don't recognize me, do you?
Well, sure. I saw you over at Mrs. Swayze's.
Yeah. Then you can guess what I'm doing here. My trousseau, Mr. Wickstead and I.
Oh, I think that's wonderful.
B, maybe something
That's not practical, Hazel. A rayon or something quilted.
Suppose you slip into some of these, dear.
Poor Hazel. Our friend Swayze earned her fee on this one. I thought that Wickstead had never come around.
Mrs. Swayze.
Miss Bennett? Say, when do they have to have a sale of these?
Middle of July, about 20% off.
I'll be back.
I didn't get it before. What did Mrs. Swayze have to do with it?
What had she to do with it? She nailed him down. It's just like her ad says. Success guaranteed. See May Swayze.
B, come here and look at this.
See ya, hon.
What you read in the papers. Says right here, contacts and contract. Well, yeah, here we are. Hey, anybody home? We want to make a contact. Anybody home? Well, well, here's the little lady now. Ma'am, this is my friend, and he's awful lonely. I bet you could cure that, huh?
He's the shy one, really shy. Blush for
We
her,
got
Bert.
4 tickets to Guys and Dolls.
See, he's one guy,
And
I'm
we
one
sure
guy, and
hate
we
to see them empty seats, Mama. How about a couple of cute little contacts, huh?
Oh, contact you. Get out of here.
Don't do
Don't
that.
come in here and with your... Don't give me another back talk either. Go on. Go on. You came to the wrong place and passed the word.
Why, guys?
Yeah. Hi. I called you with Russell's just a few minutes ago and they told me you left. Come on in. Huh, well, what do you think of them 2 pigs? I get a couple of them every week. Say, listen, it's time you and me got our heads together. Oh, I know all about you and Matt. In fact, I think I know it before you did. Come on in, kid. Oh, he's quite a handful, but he's a great prospect. Of course, the only catch is he don't want to get married. But there's 2 or 3 ways we can make him ask you. Now, in your particular case, I'm going to work it like this. First, we're going to take the honey away from the bee. To start with, I planted a false guy in your life. How'd you like the roses? Oh, we got Mr. Hornbeck worried already. Now, for a whole week, I don't want you to see him. Let him call you, let him wait for you. Don't act mad. You're just busy. It'll take. Most men don't think of grabbing for an apple till they find somebody else in the orchard. See? Oh, listen,
Just water my hat, lady.
once
Just
more.
water my hat.
Just... And how do you like that?
Mrs. Swayze, why didn't you tell me you ran a place like this?
I don't know. You think I should have?
Before messing around with my life, I think so.
Oh, well, it ain't as bad as that. You talk as though I sawed off somebody's crutches.
I think it's the most awful thing I ever heard of. This whole business, or whatever it is.
I don't know why you're making such a stunk. There's nothing so wrong about it.
Getting people together for money, hitching them.
Did you come all the way down here to tell me that?
I came because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it was happening to me.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to take any money from you 2. This one was on the house.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Swayze. I don't want to grab a man that doesn't want to be married. I don't think I'm that much of a drip. I'm not that hard up. I don't want you to trick him into it for me.
Oh, it ain't tricks. He loves you.
Oh, by special arrangement of May Swayze. Success guaranteed. I wonder if you'd do me a favor. Just take my name off your books.
Look. I know I botched things up, but I could see you were heading for trouble. So I'd have done the same thing for my own daughter.
Go find yourself another daughter.
Hey, it's dark in here. Turn on the lights, huh, May?
No, forget about it tonight, Doberman.
Oh. Okay, May. Maybe in the morning, huh? Oh, May, I wanted to talk to you about your ad for July.
Run it as is.
As is. Yeah, well, Well, what I mean is, May, I think we're going to have to skip it for a couple of months.
You mean they won't take my ad?
Just one of those things. You know, they get classy from time to time. Probably got some squawks from some women's club. You know, cancellations. Why, pretty soon they'll be begging you to put it back in again. I had the same trouble with those ads from them hormone pills. You know how it is. A lot of people think it doesn't look so good. Last November, the paper canceled them all out. What happens today? Right back in again.
Sure. Good night, Doberman.
Okay, May. Good night, May.
May. I wasn't sure whether you were up already. I tried to see you at your office a couple of times.
Yeah, so I heard. Well, Emmy, in the last 20 years, you haven't gotten any younger either.
You knew Frank had passed on, didn't you, May?
Yeah, read about it in the papers.
Remember the dress we saw in the window yesterday? Isn't it nice?
Yes.
Come, Mrs. Swayze.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, you
Hi.
for my birthday?
Yes, dear.
I
Come
need a
along.
pair of
Come along.
shoes so bad.
I know it's awful nervy of me to come to see you, of all people.
Look, Emmy, I'm going out of town. I got no time to talk to you.
But it can't be so painful to you now, May. It's so many years back.
I don't get my husband stolen from me every day in the week.
We haven't got him now. Neither one of us.
Look, Emmy, my train leaves at 11:20. What do you want? Make it fast.
Well, I'm just out of touch with everybody. I don't know who to turn to. What good does it do me a nice house and the money and everything? You know what time I go to bed sometimes? 6 o'clock in the evening. And at 2 o'clock I wake up and I think I'll go crazy before it gets light. You don't know what it's like to be so alone.
You taught me all about that 20 years ago, Emmy.
But you're a strong woman, May. You've got both feet on the ground and you know everybody. Everybody's your friend. Oh, don't let me sit there staring at those four walls. Tell me what to do. Help me. I'm not asking you to do it for nothing. Treat me like any other customer. Charge me whatever you want.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You're coming to me for a husband.
Wish you wouldn't put it that way. If I could just meet some people.
Well, well. Emmy on the prowl again. Didn't used to have to worry about getting fellas.
Fellas our age are all dead or they're married. It's twice as hard when you used to be little and cute the way I was. The fellas used to laugh at everything I said. Nowadays, I guess I just sound silly to the ones that I'd even look at. Will you help me?
No, I can't, Emmy.
You hate me. I know you hate me.
No, I don't, Emmy. Not one little bit. Not anymore. As a matter of fact, I got reason to kind of like you at this moment. Feel as though you'd given Frank back to me after all.
Then you will do something for me.
No, I can't, Emmy. You go to one of the others.
What are the others?
Well, there's plenty of marriage brokers. Look them up in the telephone book. They'll get you fixed up.
Fixed up? But, May, I couldn't.
Well, you came to me.
But you... I know you, but I couldn't go to one of those places. I'd die of shame.
So it's places, huh? Well, I've heard that before. I'm sorry, Emmy, you're out of luck. Oh, it's nothing personal. It's just I'm going to get away from the joint for a while. Maybe for good. Too many people want to die of shame because they have to deal with somebody like me.
Sorry, the place is closed.
Closed?
Yeah, she's out of town.
Gee, that sure throws me off. I came all the way down from New Brunswick. Thought when I went home it'd be all set.
Gee, that's too bad.
I was told she's the only one in this business you could trust. She sure got this friend of mine a good wife. He said she'd do the same for me.
Yeah?
Mrs. Swayze isn't sick.
No.
Well, I just came by to return these to her. They're some earrings that she lent me.
Put it on the desk.
What's the matter with Mrs. Swayze?
She went to shower in spring. She thought the sulfur water might do her shoulder some good. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Oh, by the way, that Mr. Hornbeck's been calling here for you. If you don't want to talk to him, tell him so. Get him off my back.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, if he happens to call again, would you tell him that it's my vacation? I've gone to Bermuda.
Is that your phone ringing? Wait a minute. I'd like to leave my name and address.
But I got to talk to Mrs. Swayze. I got to.
But she's away.
It all went so fine. Now Mrs. Swayze can't leave me like this.
Well, look, we better get out and close the door. Oh, listen. Don't be a child.
I did everything exactly like Mrs. Swayze told me. It worked fine. And Della liked me. And then last Sunday it happened. You see, Mrs. Swayze told me when Della took me out to see her folks, I should bring a gift for each one. And now Della won't speak to me.
Well, she couldn't have resented that.
What made her mad was I told everybody how much each thing cost. Don't laugh, miss. I don't care how much they cost. I just thought they might be interested.
Oh, well, this can't be so serious. Just call her up and talk it out.
She won't talk to me. She says she's through with me.
Well, then how could Mrs. Swayze help?
She would tell me what to do. She would.
Well, about all she could tell you would be to go to a florist and send her some flowers with a sweet little note.
Flowers? What kind of flowers?
Kind of flowers? Roses. Yeah, pink roses.
Pink roses? But what did I write on the card?
Oh, really? Anything. You're old enough to write to the girl you love.
You write it.
Me?
You write it.
Oh, please. Oh, what? This is silly. What would I write?
Please, miss, please.
Well, yeah.
Pink roses. I'm going to send her half a dozen.
A full dozen. 2 dozen.
Yes, ma'am. Dear Della, I won't tell you how much they cost. I will just tell you how much I love you.
Oh, come on now. Let's not start crying again.
How much I owe you?
What do you mean? Nothing.
Mrs. Swayze always charged me.
Well, I'm not Mrs. Swayze.
Thank you, miss.
No, you're not Mrs. Swayze. Not by a long shot. Fact is, you're the one that threw her for a loop. Do you know what you've been doing just now? Exactly what she used to do. Patching things up. Giving people a push at the right time.
I don't see how you say that.
Look, you wouldn't know the score. You got a pretty face. These people here, they don't have pretty faces. Go ahead, check. Know what you'll find? A lot of plain Janes. A lot of guys starting in to get bald. Have to be led and pushed around. Haven't got the guts to say what should come natural to them. Lonely? Shy? Sounds kind of comical when you read it in an ad, don't it? Ain't so comical when it happens to you. But don't ever kid yourself. Mother Nature can stand a boost now and then. And don't ever despise anybody that tries to help you that way.
Mr. Doberman, I don't despise Mrs. Swayze. At least not anymore, but I just despise this business she's in.
Oh, now, look, you're talking like a chowderhead. What do you think she did? You think she sat down one day and says, well, guess I'll hang out my shingle as a marriage broker. Think I'll make myself some money off these poor, lonely suckers. No. No, when Mae Swayze's own marriage went on the rocks, that was the loneliest woman on the face of this earth. I don't think you catch on that only somebody as lonely as she was could know how many more there are of the same kind. You won't find your name on any of these cards. Mm-mm. She filed your card away in here. You want to know what you were? You were the daughter she never had. You were the kid she missed out on. That's how come you could kick the pins out from under her so easy. Congratulations, Miss Bennett. And a good morning to you.
If she should show up or if she should call, have her get in touch with me. And make it clear, I don't want just some little cutie pie that's after my dough. I need a woman with both feet on the ground. A woman that can talk back to the men that handle my fishing boats. And me too, if necessary.
All right, mister, I'll keep your address. That's the best I can do. So long.
Something's got to give. I've got 2 neighbor women. They're a couple of mean old witches, and they're closing in. If I don't come back married to the right woman, I'm liable to wind up with one of them.
I rang.
Thank you. Oh, go ahead, miss.
Would you mind stepping back to Mrs. Swayze's office with me? Go on down. Maybe if you could tell me exactly what you have in mind,
Poor thing, she passed on at 78. She had that look when you lose weight back here. Oh, that's dangerous. She should have tried Mrs. Endicott's doctor. Wouldn't have helped her any. Oh, yes, it would. He told her it was her teeth all along. You know, I think that's what's wrong with my knee. Well, this could be your teeth. Because he told Mrs. Endicott that, and she let
Good morning.
Hi.
Beautiful up here, isn't it? Those trees. You know, I've always liked that poem that said, only God could make a tree.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you got to figure who else would take the time.
I knew it. I'll bet you're from New York. I can always tell a New York girl.
Well, you'd hardly call me a girl.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a pretty good judge, Mrs. Swayze.
How'd you know my name?
Well, you walked through the hotel lobby a while ago. After all, bellhops have to make a living. I'm Dan Chancellor.
Hi. Say, by the way, you don't happen to play pinochle, do you?
No, I never got the hang of it.
Oh.
I'm walking down toward the village. Maybe you'd like to come along.
I don't think so. It's almost lunchtime. They're going to have fried shrimp. This cook does them very good. No, I don't think so.
I'm surprised. You shouldn't be eating fried foods.
Why not?
Do you want to ruin your figure? You've got a very nice build there.
Oh, you really think so?
You got to hand it to this climate. Sure makes you feel good.
Say, listen, come to think of it, maybe we could drift down to the village. Have some lunch, maybe a little salad or something?
Ah, that's the ticket. Come on. We'll have ourselves a time. You're the first lady I've met since I've been here. I wanted to meet you.
Okay.
about time you came up for air.
It's all right. Wait a minute, please.
Here, beat it. Never mind, he's tipped. You were in yesterday when I came by.
I know your ring.
Look, what goes on anyway? First I hear you're on a vacation.
I am.
Then somebody says you're up in Bermuda, and somebody says you're up at some resort. Now, what goes on?
What does it matter? Will you please leave? I'm expecting someone.
At 8:30 in the morning?
Look, Matt, I have to get dressed. I have to clean the apartment. Maybe we can talk some other time.
Listen, I want to know what's the matter right now. Where have you been?
On business, out of town.
Well, you're back now. Why haven't you called me?
Don't think I haven't wanted to, but where would it get us? You not wanting to get married? Not that I blame you.
Oh, so that Swayze's been shooting off her face again, huh?
It has nothing to do with her. I understand how you feel. You have a career.
Yeah, snapping pictures of other people's stomachs.
You don't want to be a hired hand all your life. You want to be someone on your own. You don't want to be soldered in. You can't afford to.
Look, lots of people in this town manage. About 3 million of them.
Yeah, maybe that's why some of them are unhappy.
Oh, you'd like to hang around for something better, huh?
I'm trying to be sensible for you.
Oh, Kit, you talk like some university professor. Don't we love each other?
That's why I didn't want to talk to you, Matt. Suppose I answered yes to that right now. You've been tricked.
Tricked? How?
Every way. We haven't been seeing each other. That's a trick. Now we're together again. That's a trick. If I were to rush right into your arms and you'd kiss me and say, I want to marry you, that'd be a trick.
Oh, look here, sis. It's about time you stopped overrating those kisses. Listen, I've kissed my way clear up from PS 23. This isn't my first time out. You know, every time you pucker up, it isn't a secret weapon. I just happen to like you. I'm stuck with you. I want to marry you. Yeah, so maybe I won't be my own boss for a while, for a long while. I'll be happy. I'll have you around the house to boss. Kid, I love you very much. Now, why not? Oh, brother, you got company.
Oh, dear. This is important.
Important?
Don't forget what you were talking about.
Don't put your flag up. I could get thrown right out of here.
Mrs. Swayze.
Did you get my telegram? I just got in. The first thing I wanted to do was come around and apologize to
Do
you.
you want me to slug you?
No, don't be silly, kid. You were right. Romance is something that's got to happen to you unexpected, like falling down a manhole, setting it up for people. That's strictly for tourists.
Oh, come on now, Mrs. Swayze.
Hi. Yeah, it's me. And before you start lining up any prospects, she's taken.
Oh? Well, sometimes those put-up jobs pan out. But me, I think it's better if it happens to you all of a sudden, you know? Boing, yoing, yoing. That's all I wanted to say. Good luck, kid. Gotta be going.
Oh, wait a second. Turn around. I want to look at you. Something seems kind of different.
You don't think this dress is too young for me?
Just right.
That's what I was told.
Hey, are we going to talk about clothes all day?
Say, Matt, you're due at the office. Pick me up tonight, huh?
I'm not due yet.
Oh, well, I gotta go anyway. I gotta get a manicure.
Manicure, new dress. What's happening, Mrs. Swayze?
Oh, nothing. I just thought I'd spruce up a little bit.
Something's cooking way on the back burner. Hey, Matt, how about getting us some coffee? Come on, give me the old 1, 2, 3.
Well, I might as well tell you. There's a guy gone clean off his rocker about me.
Why, that's wonderful.
Happened up where I was staying. You wouldn't know the place. How do you like the new hairdo? Do you think it takes years off? Well, a couple of months, anyway.
Years.
How old do you think he thinks I am?
What does it matter?
40.
How much did you admit?
39, but he'd want to marry me whatever I was. He don't care about anything. All he wants us to do is just flap away on the wings of love.
Well, when's it going to be?
Oh, you don't think I'm considering it seriously.
And why not, if he's a nice man?
Oh, he's all right. He's kind of good-natured. I guess he's the big noise up in New Brunswick, wherever that is. He's got a fleet of boats. He owns a house on a peninsula. He even owns the peninsula.
Then set the day.
Oh, I don't know. He's a little on the square side, but we had a lot of fun up at Sharon Springs.
Oh, were you there, too?
Thanks, Matt. Just set it down.
What do you mean, was I there, too?
Well, that's where they said you were, up at Sharon Springs.
Listen, when you get out of here, or I'll shoot you before I have a chance to marry you.
Marry me? That's all I wanted to hear. I'll see you tonight.
What were you doing at Sharon Springs?
Just happened to be there?
No, not good enough.
Well, suppose I did bring him up there.
Slow up. You mean you ran into him and...
At your office.
And dragged him up there?
And why not? There's a little marriage broker in all of us, and there should be.
Years younger. Mutton dressed up like lamb.
Oh, don't be that way.
There's something for you. My big dream. Shopping around for a wife in a lousy joint like mine.
Listen, Mrs. Swayze, don't you dare get finicky about it.
Just think of it. I fell for my own routine. I ought to see a head shrinker.
Listen, you're the woman for him. He's the man for you. You'll never be lonely again.
Lonely. I'm glad you reminded me. Out there on that peninsula, nobody to talk to but a bunch of seagulls. How lonely could you get?
Well, listen, will you stop yelling and listen to me?
I got news for you. That guy bores the life out of me. Do you know what he said to me when I tried to teach him how to play pinochle? He says he couldn't get the hang of it.
So you'll teach him.
Nobody ever learned to play pinochle after 50.
But if you're lonely...
Listen, honey. Nobody scratching around to keep other people from getting lonely ever gets lonely. Put that under your pillow.
He's a nice fella. You can't let him down.
I'll take care of him.
Serious, he really needs a wife.
Yeah, he mentioned it. Hello? Hello, this is May. Are you busy? Listen, stop asking so many questions. Get right over to my office. Yeah, I'll meet you there. Goodbye.
May! You're back!
You bet I'm back.
Well, what happened? Gee, you've got a tan, a new hairdo. Everything all right?
What else? Listen, I'll talk to you later.
Wait till Doberman hears.
Come in.
I took a cab.
Sit down, Emmy. I've been thinking quite a lot about you lately, and I think I finally located just the right man.
Hey.
I'll do the talking. Say, have you got a dress that doesn't look like you're going to a fancy funeral?
Lots of them.
Well, put one of them on. Let me see your face. Well, go easy on the rouge and no guck on the fingernails. You're going to a matinee this afternoon at the 43rd Street Theater. There'll be a ticket for you at the window under the name of Chancellor. And the man that'll be sitting next to you is Mr. Chancellor.
On the right or the left?
I don't know. Maybe right, maybe left. Anyway, he'll be there. He has great big blue eyes. Tell him I was unavoidably detained.
May, what'll I do next?
Well, if I remember correctly, Emmy, I think I can leave that up to you.
Hey, May, I heard you just got back. How are you? Oh, you're busy, huh? I'll see you later.
No, we're all through. Wait in there.
Oh, okay.
May, you're an angel. How can I ever thank you?
Wait a minute. I'm not doing this for old lang syne. How much did Frank leave you? Well, never mind about that now. But if this goes according to schedule, brace yourself for quite a bite.
Yes, May, yes. May, what's he like?
He's a very nice fella, and I almost took him myself. Now, go ahead, give him the business.
Cut. You were smart, mate. That guy wasn't right for you.
Who knows who's right for who?
Oh, you see, May? What you need is somebody more suave. Like me, for instance. A little polish, but you and I could hit it off real great. Come on, play already.